What's up? It's your boy, Amateur Pro Home Chef Nathanael Levinson, coming at you with a little something special. So for those of you who don't know, this is what's known as a tier list, where basically I will be ranking various things. Today we're going to be talking about soda. So basically the way this works is I'm going to go through a list of all the sodas I can think that I've drunk, mainstream sodas. I'm not really getting into specialty sodas, but I'll be ranking them off from up here. We have Triple S, the ultimate soda, down to trash, never speak to me or my son again. What's fun about these is obviously these are completely opinionated, personal preference. What's fun about these is, and I'll include the link in the description, the video description, where you can go make your own tier list. And I'd like to see where you guys come up with. And are there some sodas I forgot to rank on here? Do you disagree? Do you agree? Where would you rank certain things? What is the ultimate soda for you? So this is kind of a fun way to sort of generate discussion and talk about things that, to taste test all of these would be just, a ridiculous amount of time. So we're going to do kind of tier lists moving forward. Some of these things where there's just a lot of stuff out there, but to generate some discussion on why do we think some things are better than others, and so moving forward we're going to be doing some tier lists. But this is the first one, and this is on soda pop. Some places just call it Coke, but we're going to talk about these now. Again, these are all the sodas that I can remember having tried. So I've had all these. There's a lot of sodas that I haven't had. I think I've covered this. I think I've got 39 in here for most of them. And I've tried to avoid specialty sodas. So like Jones's and Dr. Brown's kind of tend to be like a higher tier. The only kind of what you might consider a specialty soda is IBC, but I think that's more mainstream anyways. But anyways, let's get started. So first up we have 7-Up. 7-Up Cherry. 7-Up Cherry. So 7-Up Cherry I think is a solid soda. It's got the lemon lime, which I usually find lemon lime sodas like a bit too sweet for my taste. But generally the cherry ones, the cherry or cranberry ones, tend to be kind of balanced out. So to put that in perspective, regular old 7-Up, I think for me is a C tier. Mediocre. None of the lemon lime sodas to me are that good. Sorry if I step on some toes. I know a lot of people like Sprite and things like that. We'll get to those. But for me, most of the time, the lemon lime sodas, they're fine. I don't find them distasteful, but definitely not the first thing I'm going to reach for. And if I had to choose between the 7-Up and the 7-Up Cherry, reach for the 7-Up Cherry every time. So I think it's 7-Up Cherry is solid. 7-Up, it's okay. It's okay. Too sweet for my taste. A&W root beer. Now we're getting into the stuff. Now I think for me most root beers are going to be higher tier. I love root beer. A&W is a real good solid root beer. Now we're getting into something a little bit controversial here. Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Mountain Dew Baja Blast. This is the Taco Bell exclusive. The Taco Bell exclusive. And you know what? Why don't I can make this a little bigger, so you can kind of see a little bit better. So Taco Bell Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Gonna give you a hot take of the trash. Mountain Dew Baja Blast should not exist. It's terrible. It's just. No, it's bad. It's bad soda, and it's bad soda. It doesn't deserve to exist. Mountain Dew is good. Well, go get to Mountain Dew, but where's Mountain Dew? Here you go. Mountain Dew, regular Mountain Dew. That's S tier. It's a really good soda. Okay, Mountain Dew is really good, and you had to go and ruin it. Like one of the things that makes Mountain Dew good is it has a little bit of that tartness to it, right? I don't like saccharine sweet things, and Baja Blast and it's funny because a lot of the other Mountain Dews, I've had a lot of the Mountain Dew spin-offs, but I don't remember them very well, but I do remember them kind of leaning into the sour a little bit more than the sweet. Baja Blast is just sweet. It's terrible. I can't even tell you what it's flavored like. No, it's bad. It's bad. Barks Root Beer. Do I think it's as good as A&W? Yeah, I think Barks Root Beer is a solid root beer. Barks and A&W, both very good, both happy to have it. All the root beers are you have varying levels of sweetness and varying levels of vanilla flavor, but I think both of these are really solid. I'm happy with both of those. I think I might like Barks just a little bit more than A&W, but they're both very good. Both happy to have them. Big Red. For those of you who don't know, Big Red is a it's a cherry flavored soda, or I think it's supposed to be a cherry flavored soda. My old college roommate's gonna yell at me for this one, but Big Red trash tier. Can't stand it. It tastes like bad flavored bubble gum. It's garbage. Don't ever show up to my house with this soda unless you want a whooping. This is that's hot trash. It's hot trash. That's funny because I remember my roommate was so excited when we went to a restaurant and they had Big Red on tap. I was like, okay, I'll try it. son, we need to talk. Something's wrong with you. Had to call his dad, the whole shebang. Like, your son likes Big Red. He does? No inheritance. He's out of the will. It's done. This is garbage tier. Yeah, no, bad. Canada Dry, regular Canada Dry ginger ale. Regular Canada Dry ginger ale. Now, I love ginger ale. And honestly, I tend to prefer the artisanal ginger ales just because they tend to have more ginger flavor. But I mean, I find ginger ale one of the most refreshing sodas. Love it, absolutely love it. It's definitely my go-to if I'm feeling under the weather. It's ginger ale and crackers. Canada Dry, I think I would put at I put Canada Dry at an A tier. Really good ginger ale. Love to see it. Love to have it. Cranberry ginger ale. So Canada Dry, this is kind of a seasonal one. You see it more around Thanksgiving. This is S tier. This one's so good. It's all the goodness of ginger ale with a little bit of that tart cranberry kind of, love this stuff. Even better than regular ginger ale, although it's more of a seasonal thing, so sometimes it's hard to find. But this is a top tier soda. Love it. Cheerwine. Okay, Cheerwine, that's the best soda ever made. Don't try to argue with me. And this is not just because I'm from the Carolinas, not just because I'm repping my hometown. Cheerwine is just hands down the best soda. Some people, obviously, this is a matter of opinion. But to me, it's just like crisp, refreshing, and it's cherry flavored, right? And cherry flavor is one of those ones that's so easy for it to just taste like cough syrup. And Cheerwine is just good. It's just good. Make a float with Cheerwine. Oh baby, that's what I'm talking about. Best soda that has ever been invented. As you notice, all the other sodas, you've got Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, and they're trying to tweak things. No. Cheerwine, it's just Cheerwine. It's just Cheerwine, and it's the best. I will accept no contradictions in this. Anything else, happy to disagree, will not take any argument on this. Cheerwine is the best soda that has ever been created by humankind. Outside of artisanal stuff, like a really solid artisanal, like higher end black cherry soda could be really, really good, but like Cheerwine, come on. Forget about it. It's a knockout. Coca-Cola Cherry. Okay, Coca-Cola Cherry is a solid soda. Now, I will say it goes really well with movie popcorn. So like if you're in a movie theater, this might be the go-to is a good cherry Coke. It's not too sweet. I do think it does lean a little bit more on the medicinal side. So take it or leave it. But yeah, cherry Coke, solid. Wild cherry Pepsi. I honestly think Wild Cherry Pepsi is about equivalent to Cherry Coke in terms of which ones I like. I think I probably have had more Cherry Coke. This is my granddad's favorite soda, so I have had it on occasion, and I honestly think it's pretty solid. Mountain Dew Code Red, that was one of the ones cherry flavor I think they added to Mountain Dew. That one's it's all right. Like it's not bad, but at the end of the day, I'd rather just have a regular Mountain Dew. Right, Coca-Cola the original, and this is going to obviously cause controversy with people who are Pepsi fans. So we'll do Coca-Cola and then immediately do Pepsi. I'd say Coca-Cola's A tier. I think it's really good, refreshing soda. I think if you add a little bit of like lime or lemon to it, then it's like really good. But I honestly think Coke is solid, whereas Pepsi, I honestly think normal Pepsi is a C tier. It's medicinal tasting, which Arguably, soda should be medicinal tasting, right? The origins are from pharmacies and people trying to make sodas or medicines, right? They made cough syrup, and then eventually when they put seltzer water with this and much sugar, they're like, hey, it tastes not half bad. So a lot of these older sodas started off as medicine. Right, Coca-Cola refers to two of the ingredients, cocaine, so it's good. Coconuts and coca leaves and cola nuts didn't actually, not cocaine, but coca leaves and cola nuts, right, were two of the major ingredients because it was medicine, right? And then eventually, I think they do still have cola nuts in it. I don't know if it's legally mandated that if you call yourself a cola, you have to have cola nuts. Or cola nut syrup or something from cola nuts. I actually don't know if that's a regulation. Sounds like it probably should be. But I don't know if Coke still uses coca leaves. Maybe that's what their secret ingredient X9 with the vault. If you ever done, I will say, Coke Museum, or it's World of Coke now, it's awesome. If you're in Atlanta and you need something fun to do and you want to drink some wild sodas at the end, I'm not getting sponsored by Coke, by the way. World of Coke is is really cool. It used to be the Coke Museum where you just have like, like a wandering exhibit, but they've actually revamped it to where it's actually really cool. Definitely worth the trip. And I don't think it's too expensive, especially for Atlanta. It's like usually people like do that or do the aquarium, and the aquarium is stupid expensive. So like if you're in Atlanta, World of Coke, super fun, and you get to taste, a bunch of different crazy kinds of Coke from around the world, most of which don't really hit the American palate quite right, if I'm honest. But some of them are surprisingly good. So Coke Zero and Diet Coke. So I have these two on here just as general representatives of two of the different artificial sweeteners, and because obviously different diet sodas will taste different, but I don't, cards at the table, I don't like diet soda. So Diet Coke is a non-miss me with that. Now I realize a lot of people love Diet Coke. That aspartame flavor, that aspartame aftertaste, just ruins my enjoyment of any. It's very funny because obviously my father is a Diet Coke person, and I'm a Coke person, and I still, if I accidentally grab his drink and take a sip and get hit with that aspartame, my face just kind of sucks back into itself of just utter horror of what I've just put in my mouth. I don't actually think it tastes that bad, but when I'm expecting regular Coke and I taste Diet Coke, almost like when I'm expecting sweet tea and I taste unsweet tea, just an unpleasant experience. So Diet Coke, no sir. Coke Zero, I actually find, so Coke Zero is sweetened with sucralose or Splenda. So I find it slightly more tolerable. You can definitely still tell it's diet. Like, no, if anyone tells you, it tastes exactly the same as the regular soda, they're lying. They're lying. It tastes different. But Coke Zero is, in my mind, less of a nasty aftertaste than Diet Coke. Still would prefer just about anything else. And this is like the low end of CT. I'd take a Pepsi over Coke Zero 100% of the time. 100% of the time. So Coke Zero is low end of C tier, but it is better than Diet Coke. Please keep me in the will, Father. But yeah, and again, I feel like for a lot of people, if you grew up drinking Diet Coke, you got used to that taste, and then you go to regular Coke and it tastes off. I get that, but for me, it's like, no, I can't. I just can't. I can't do diet sodas in general. I think, again, I haven't had a lot, but Diet Dr. Pepper seems to be like the least offensive, but you could still definitely taste it. Orange Crush, solid soda. I do like my orange sodas. In fact, I'll put Fanta up here. Well, I think both of these are really solid. Orange soda is very refreshing, nice and tart, not too sweet. So yeah, both of these solid options. Do I have a preference between these? I don't drink orange soda a lot. It's not my go-to. So I'd keep them as a B tier. Like, I'll happily drink one if I'm thirsty. But yeah, I think that this is those are approximately equivalent. I don't know. I could go either way on that. Maybe I've had Fanta more, so maybe put that up one. And there's obviously like a million different kinds of Fanta and a million different kinds of Crush. I haven't had a lot of those. I have grape Fanta represented in here. Grape soda, some people really like it. I don't know. It's just okay. Better than Pepsi and Coke Zero. I don't know. Maybe not as good as like a 7-Up. Coca-Cola, I believe this is cherry vanilla. Yeah, it's cherry vanilla. Cherry vanilla Coke. This is a tough one for me because I do like the flavor combination, but I also think it's a little bit on the sweet side. It was also like a real novelty right when it came out, because that was kind of the first time any company had been like, hey, here's our normal product with like a slight tweak on it, other than cherry Coke. As far as I remember, again, my childhood, Coke has had all sorts of things, like Crystal Pepsi, and there's a wild history of sodas, but yeah, I think I gotta go B tier with this. It's low B tier. I think it's fine. I think it definitely borders on the too sweet for me. Like, the flavor is good, but it definitely borders on that this might be a dessert in a can sweetness. Dr. Pepper Cherry Vanilla. Dr. Pepper Cherry Vanilla. Let's do Dr. Pepper first. Like, regular Dr. Pepper. Regular Dr. Pepper is an S tier. I don't think there can be any doubt about it. They say 23 flavors. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Dr. Pepper, if you're listening, sir, or madam, first of all, I don't think you're a medical doctor. Although, again, all this stuff is rooted in, like, medicine. But lists out 23 different flavors for me, and yeah, if you're like, well, it's sweet and then slightly sweeter, I don't know what that whole thing about 23 flavors is supposed to be, but I don't buy it. Dr. Pepper Cherry Vanilla, I think, is as good. Maybe not as good as regular Dr Pepper, but I do think it tops A tier, for sure. I love it. They have those new freestyle Coke machines. I think I almost always go for like a cherry vanilla Dr Pepper. I think it's, unlike Coke, it doesn't make it so much sweeter, but it does change the flavor profile enough that it does taste like it's still Dr Pepper, but it tastes. I honestly don't know if I could pick out like that it is specifically cherry and vanilla, but I don't know. It's not bad. I really like it. I really like cherry vanilla Dr Pepper. It's yeah. Dr Pepper cream soda. This is a newer one. This one is it's too cloyingly sweet. So it's just below vanilla Coke. I think it still tastes good, but it is definitely too sweet. I think they could have moderated that sugar a little bit. I'd like to look at the calorie count, see if does the calorie count go up on that, because it tastes way sweeter than regular Dr Pepper. But let's be honest, if you're drinking any of these sodas other than the diet ones, calories are all about, they're all way up there. Like, let's be honest. Fresca is an interesting one. I believe Fresca is at least partially sweetened with an artificial sweetener. I'm not sure which one. I think it might be sucralose. So definitely, it's funny because it definitely has like a little bit of that diet flavor that I don't like. But at the same time, it is actually like really refreshing. So Fresca's a funny one for me. Yeah, I'd say it's solid. Probably above cherry vanilla Coke. It is like, because that bitterness is like a grapefruit flavor. That bitterness just mediates a lot of the unpleasantness from the diet for me. So I find it very drinkable, which is like a weird term, but for lack of a better term, I find it very easy to drink a Fresca, and I find it pretty refreshing. Definitely not as good as like a Crush or a Fanta, so I think that's an appropriate place for it. This is IBC Black Cherry. IBC Black Cherry. IBC Black Cherry is an S tier, easy S tier. Easy S tier. Might be, or I need to rearrange this. Mountain Dew goes to the bottom of the S tier, although again, bottom of the S tier is still above an A tier. I think IBC Black Cherry is just a really good soda. The only problem is like it's kind of relative to buying other sodas, it's expensive because you get like a 4-pack for $10 or something like that, so it's like $2.50 a bottle. But it's really good. Like, this is a treat yourself soda. Is it better than Cheerwine? No, it's not. Sorry, IBC. It's very good, but it's not better than Cheerwine. IBC Root Beer, I would say also an S tier, but I'd probably put not as good as Dr Pepper. Smooth that up. IBC Root Beer, I think, is probably, of the root beers I'm talking about, probably the best one. Yeah, it's just the most balanced flavor, really good, like deep, not murky, like not swampy. Like, murky sounds swampy. Well, yeah, really deep, dark, rich, caramelly flavor and vanilla notes. Like, I mean, what root beer is? It's a root. Like, it's a literal root, just like gentian root and some other things that go into it. So when you talk about root beer, we are talking about like like an earthy kind of robust flavor that goes into that. I've had birch beer, I've had sarsaparilla, love those as well. I don't know if there's any mainstream versions of that, so not on the list, but a good birch beer, good sarsaparilla, very, very good. Like, a birch beer almost has more of a wintergreen flavor, and they're different. And if you could find some, I definitely recommend you try it. And it has to do with these different roots, literal roots that they're like chopping up and brewing their syrup with. But yeah, I think IBC is probably of the mainstream root beers, probably the best. And it's a little more high-end, too. Mellow Yellow, the poor man's Mountain Dew, C tier. It's way too sweet. I'm sorry. Again, I put it above Coke Zero just because that clacky aftertaste of Coke Zero just puts me off. Mug Root Beer. Mug Root Beer is an interesting one. I do really like Mug Root Beer. Is Mug Root Beer the best of the three? It's hard to say. I think they're all really similar, right? The differences are not striking. I think Barks, again, has that kind of earthiest taste. And again, that sounds bad, like, I'm drinking a fistful of dirt. Delicious. No, not like that, but, again, if you did a side-by-side comparison, maybe we will just do root beers and do a side-by-side comparison. That might be a good thing to do, because they're all very good. They are, like, there's subtle differences in levels of sweetness and levels of earthiness and levels of, or oakiness, I guess, woodsiness, and levels of vanilla that kind of, they're different. They are definitely different, but they're all very good. So I don't think there's one root beer that I'm like, trash root beer, get that out of here. Pib Extra. Pib Extra. The poor man's Dr. Pepper. It's mediocre. It's okay. It's fine. It's what you go for if you don't have Dr. Pepper. So, yeah, Seagram's is not as good as Canada Dry, but it is ginger ale, which is just as really good. So, both solid options. I think Seagram's is a little on the sweeter side, which is why I prefer Canada Dry. But yeah, Sierra Mist, nah. Sierra Mist is the weakest of the lemon lines. It's just, I mean, it just tastes like syrup to me. I don't even. Yeah, it's bad. Sprite Cranberry. Okay, let me switch these around. So I'll do Sprite first. Sprite, it's between a C and a D for me. I think it's definitely better than Sierra Mist, but is it better than Diet Coke? I think it is. Maybe it's the top of the D tier. I don't like Sprite. I don't like Sprite at all. I just find it so. Again, Sierra Mist is worse because it's got like a dollar flavor. At least Sprite is really well carbonated, and that does bring it up for me. But like, it's just so sweet. I don't like it at all. Nah, it's bad. It's bad. Sprite's bad. I'm sorry. Your two front runners, Coke's an A tier and Sprite's a D tier. That's just how it is. You win some, you lose some. But here's a hot take: Sprite Cranberry. Sprite Cranberry is an S tier. Sprite Cranberry is so good. That tartness and fruitiness from the cranberry fixes all the problems. All the problems. I love that. That way too sweetness goes away. That it emphasizes the lemon lime flavor. It's like. Yes, I would like a Sprite Cranberry. Thank you, LeBron, or whoever did that commercial. Please give me a Sprite Cranberry. That's all I wanted. All right, only a couple more here. Sundrop. Okay, Sundrop is it's good. It's real good. And I believe Sundrop, like Mountain Dew, was originally designed for mixing with moonshine. So if that's your thing, I remember in college we used to mix it with George Dickel bourbon. We called them Dickel Drops because we were mature adults. But Sundrop is it's solid. I'd say it's an A tier easily. Sort of within the tier. I'll probably put it below Coke. But yeah, I love me a good Sundrop. And once again, this is Sundrop Cherry Lemon. Sundrop Cherry Lemon is S tier, without question. Probably above Mountain Dew. Yeah, as you could probably guess, I like a little tartar on my sodas. And the cranberry, this is like cherry citrus, which it was already citrus. It's like cherry lemon citrus. So wasn't it already citrus? I don't know. But all I know is this is a really good soda. And all the sweetness is balanced by the tartness and the fruity flavor. It's not medicinal, so it's good. I'll just leave it like that. But yeah, I find, yeah, these three sodas are the ones where it's like, hey, you took the soda that was either from good to no to miss me with that, like don't want that, and you fixed any complaint I had about the soda and elevated it. While still keeping it, like, this clearly still tastes, it still reminds me of, like, it still has that taste of Sundrop. It still has that ginger ale taste. It still has that Sprite taste, but you made it better. You improved on it, which I really liked. Dr. Pepper is just such a solid beginning. That's why I don't think I could put Dr. Pepper Cherry Vanilla in all good conscience above it. Although there are days when I definitely prefer this to Dr. Pepper. But Dr. Pepper by itself is just a solid option, top tier soda. All right, I think I got three more. All right, Sunkist, it's orange soda. It's orange soda. What more is there to say? Honestly, side by side, I think maybe I put Fanta lower because again, they're orange sodas, so they all taste really similar. But I think Fanta's like a little on the sweeter side, which to me, again, bumps it down a peg. Surge. I'm gonna come back to Surge. I'm gonna finish with that one. Coca-Cola Vanilla. Coca-Cola Vanilla, I think, is it's over here with Dr. Pepper and cream soda. It's just a little too far on the sweet side. It really is kind of like a dessert in a can. And now it's not to say it's bad. Again, these mediocre ones are not bad. And the D tier are like, I personally dislike them. Trash tier, like the SS tier, unarguable. Can't, like, this is objective, scientific, Cartesian certainty fact. 100%, that's the best soda ever. And these two, 100% Cartesian certainty, 100% certain, are garbage and should be deleted from existence. But all these other ones, I'm willing to allow. Again, like, my dad really likes Diet Coke. I know a lot of people who really like Diet Coke. It's fine. I personally can't stand it. Can't stand it at all. This one, if you don't like this, I question your humanity. And these ones, if you like them, I question your humanity. Not really. I'm being facetious. Obviously, this is all opinion, but I really, really dislike these. Like, spit them out of my mouth. Bad. These, I could drink a can. I could drink a can of these unhappily. These, wouldn't complain if it was the only thing there, but wouldn't grab for it. If anything above this tier was here, I would grab that instead. A and B would depend. Like, B would depend on my mood. If Cheerwine's there, that's the first thing I'm going for. Then any of these, that's kind of how it goes. Like, the even within, like, these tiers, it would depend on mood. But any of these, I'd grab something above it. This, I would never grab unless, I had to. These, only if you had a gun to my head. And even then, I might be like, just end it. But Surge, I don't know where to put you. Surge is a funny one because I remember loving it as a kid. And I also remember when they took it off the market because apparently it had too much caffeine and, like, a dangerous amount of caffeine. But I remember really, really liking it. And then, it was like 20 years that it was off the market. And then they brought it back. And so I tried a can just to like, well, is it still good? And man, it was way sweeter than I remember. Way sweeter. Another one, I should have found this one, a Vault. That doesn't exist anymore. Vault? Like, does anyone remember that? It was like the energy drink soda. Like, it feels like something that I made up, right? Because it was on the market for so short a time. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. But it kind of just tasted like a less sweet Mountain Dew, maybe? I don't remember. I think I liked Vault because it reminded me of Surge. But then when I tried Surge, I'm like, this is so sweet. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Surge. Like, my nostalgia goggles were shattered. It's a C tier. Might be below, yeah. I think bottom of the C tier. It's just so sweet. Like, the citrus, that citrus flavor is just not there. Yeah. So there you have it. So, yeah, so that's it. Cheerwine, best of the best. S tier, you get your Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, Sprite Cranberry, really good. A tier, happy to have it. All the root beers other than IBC, which is just cut above. Ginger ale, classic Coke. Honestly, I think classic Coke is really good. Solid options. You got your cherry Pepsi, cherry Coke. Fresca, surprisingly, Fresca. Mediocres and so on and so forth. So I'm going to put a link to this in the description. So if you have any disagreements, I'd love to hear, what do you think? Do you agree, disagree? Just, put it down in the comments, and there'll be a description there. So make your own tier list and feel free to share it on our Facebook group. Or put a link in the chat. I'd love to see where other people come on, and let me know what other sodas would you put on this tier list, and where would you put them. I'm really curious to know, because obviously there are a lot of sodas that I couldn't get to. This was just like the ones that I know I've had, that I know I've tasted, so I can actually rank them. So yeah, so I'd love to hear from you. So until next time, I'm your boy Amateur Pro Home Chef Nathanael Levinson. Sorry guys, Cheerwine is the best soda in existence. You can't argue.